dun, 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 dun. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum.
What's up, party people? The MOB, the mob, members only baseball. What's going on? What's happening? What is cracking? Welcome to the very first ever playoff night here in the long storied history of the mob. Yeah, I know, Nate. Where is everybody? What the fuck? I know we're a little early, but we're only about 15 minutes earlier. No, I don't know what's going on here. I will get to the chat momentarily, though. First, let me welcome you. Welcome to Mondays in the Mob, another Tuesday edition on a computer that's not as good as mine. So everything is running a little slower. Let me know in the chat if any of us sound terrible, if the video's moving slower or something, any issues at all, let us know. I need to know about that during the show so we don't have that issue during the games. Speaking of games, dude, this fucking thing, I only have two monitors too, so it's totally throwing me off. Here's your schedule. This is going to be the dealio. Tonight, higher seeds go home. So the Yankees will be playing at the Orioles, and in the nightcap game tonight, the Cubs will be playing at the Cards. That's for tonight. Tomorrow night, we'll flip-flop that shit. And then if necessary, on Thursday night, it'll go back to how we're doing tonight. Also, we are moving next week will be 5 games. Games 1 and 2, higher seed is home. Games 3 and 4, lower seed is home. 4 and 5, obviously, if necessary. And then if we go to a game 5 in that series, what we are calling the Robo Classic, then the higher seed will be home once again. Mike sounds better than last week on the old computer. I don't think it's a computer. I think it's because I turned my shit down. So that's the way we're going to do it. That's the dealio. I don't know next week because there's 5 potential games and only 3 nights. We might start on Monday. I might do maybe a game on Monday, or maybe we'll do 2 on Tuesday, 2 on Wednesday, and then if necessary, we'll do the last one on Thursday. All right, now I've given people enough time to get in here, so let's check the chat. First one is Crazy Canuck, very impatient, I might add. He wanted to hear the Italian family wedding song, wherever the fuck it is. And then it's just him, me, Annie, me again, Freddie, Nate, Churchill, Keith, Dougie, and I bet, hold on, let me look. Hey, Twin Screw, what's happening? Annie, Doug, Freddie, Keith, Churchill. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of us. At least we got double digits. Holy shit. Speaking of double digits, let's bring in our 2 panelists for tonight's show. I know that's not a double digit, but it's 2. I had to figure out a segue there. I don't know. Wait, now we have 13? Holy shit balls. What do you know? Special K is in the house as always. Keith, what's going on with you, buddy? How was your weekend?
I mean, the Cyclones got the dub over Iowa, so it's always a good weekend whenever that happens.
I did see that.
Yeah, that was pretty lit being at that game. I've been kind of sick since last Friday, so my throat's been bothering me the whole time. And of course, yelling for 3 hours straight did not help that.
That never helps. That's what Lisa says when she has to yell at me all the time.
Right. But I mean, hey, got to do what you got to do. You got to show up for your people. And it all worked out in the end. So
perfect. Also with me tonight is the man who will be calling game 1 here in the playoffs, our first ever game, Nate Hall in his house. Nate, what's up with you, buddy?
When it's so low, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, no, but when I said 13, I think that was including bots. So
it might be. I'm having a hard time even on my. I'm telling you, everything's different because this computer sucks. I also am seeing 13 though. By the way, Soto's in the house too now. What's up, Soto?
Like I said, it's probably including bots, so bots can go off somewhere and do their own thing. But glad to be here tonight.
Good deal. Again, let me know. Does Keith sound okay? Does Nate sound okay? I want to make sure if we have any issues at all, we work them out now. So everything's going to be fluid for the games tonight. So please let me know about any issues that you hear or see. I just went over the schedule, so we're good there. So let's just jump into stuff right now. Let's jump into stats, Keith. This is your thing. This is changing every week, although I think we are still continuing to see the residuals of that 18 inning disaster a couple weeks ago, especially with the Oriole players on batting average and what have you. But any other major changes or whatever, and then just give us a quick overview, and then you, me, and Nate will talk about it.
Yeah, so I guess I'll start first by saying that these are your regular season league leaders in these stats. Just to clarify that, these are the people who performed the best over the regular season so far. Like you said, this has been changing every week. Although I think this week in particular is an interesting one because those same like few power hitters that we keep talking about, like your Benjis and your Joe Delaney's, those two in particular. I know Art G-Man is another one that's up there. They're not as high up in some of these rankings. Like for example, average. Benji's not even on here anymore.
Yeah. Well, since that 18 inning game.
Well, yes, but in general, he's gone 4 for 27 the last 2 weeks. That's not
Benji?
great. Yeah.
We can't
Another
have that.
one is Jeff Banfield. You see him down there at number 5. A few weeks ago, he was at 370 batting average on the season. He's at 301 because he's gone 5 of 27 the last 2 weeks.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Although I think the award for the worst hitting week in Mob history, maybe ever, is Joe Delaney this last week.
What do you do?
Delaney went 0 for 14 with 9 strikeouts. I mean,
Wow.
yeah.
That's definitely got to be the worst week we've ever had.
I'm not sure how much worse it can get right there.
Holy
It's pretty bad.
shit.
Dougie,
No, I did not. I'm sorry. I fucking totally forgot when I
Yeah.
booted the game up. Sorry. Go ahead. So wait.
But
Keith.
yeah.
So wait, 0 for 14 with 9 strikeouts?
Yep. That was
See-
my count.
Let me throw a thought in there real quick, and then I'll let you continue. Something I'm seriously considering doing for week 2, or season 2, is to institute what's called basically performance digression, I guess is the way you could say it. Where let's say if you're a starting pitcher and you don't make it 5 innings, you're actually going to have to deduct a point from your earnings that week. That kind of thing. If you strike out maybe 3 times in a game, or you don't get on base all for a whole week, something along those lines. It's still in the framework. But how bad would somebody like Delaney had to take a hit? 0 for 9. If that was 3 games of 3 strikeouts or something, he would have been losing points. This is wild.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it amazed me when I was looking at it. I was like, man, what the heck happened with Delaney's average? Because I looked and I think it was 351 last week on the season, and now it's at 292. Jeez, yeah, it's rough.
That is crazy.
Yeah, 2 other statistical outliers. I think I mentioned this last week, but if you look in the RBIs column, you see David Leathers there at number 4 with 11.
I do.
David Leathers is 4th in RBIs in the league in the regular season. He has the lowest batting average in the league.
Even worse than Yogi I know Britton's really turned things on lately, but even worse than Yogi and whoever else we talked about last week.
Yes, and I looked at this. There are 2 players in the league with more RBIs than hits. One of them is Art G-Man,
That's fucking
who's
wild.
number 2,
Okay.
and the other one is David Leathers.
Yeah.
Leathers is the only person on the season with less than 10 hits total.
Wow.
And every hit he has had in the last 10 games batted in at least 1 run, and he also had a sacrifice fly in that span. Just,
are
you kidding?
That is literally being coming through
right
when you actually have to, I guess, right? I mean,
yeah, we'll take last week for example. He went 1 for 11, and the 1 was a 2-run walk-off homer. Yeah. Crazy.
And what was your other point you wanted to say?
Right, yeah. So I think the other name on here that you haven't seen as much recently is Clamsy Wamsy. She's on there for average. She's up there pretty high for OBP, and she's showing up on OPS as well. That surprised me just because she's a catcher. Typically, catchers, especially in real life, are not known as power hitters, and that was the case to start the season in the mob at least. But I took a look. The last 3 weeks of the season, this is crazy. Clams hit, let's see. She went 15 for 37. So that's a 405 average in the last 3 weeks. But in addition to that, her total on base percentage was 476 in the last 3 weeks of the season.
She's crushing. Dude, the Lady O's are crushing it.
Insane. Bro. It's insane. It's crazy.
They are. Well, let me do this. Let me bring Nate in real quick before we get too much information in our heads, which is probably too late for me. Nate, you heard what Keith had to say. You see the graphic in front of you. What jumps out? What stands out? Anything you want to add or question for Keith?
Not really a question, but I'll be calling the Yankees-O's game next. And what really gets at me is the fact that the Yankees are like the last in the league, and the Yankees are still, they've got like the top two players in average in the league, and three of the top six, and they still are last in the league as far as record goes. So, I mean, it goes to show that average isn't everything. Yeah. It's about
they're on
getting
their
the
OBP,
hits.
and I mean, I see them all over this chart.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's about getting the time. It's about getting hits in a timely fashion. It's not about getting on base. It's about production and getting the runs across and not leaving them stranded like they have been all season. So it's just crazy how high they've been on the stat sheet, but it doesn't correlate.
Yeah, it's not transferring to wins.
With what right.
Yeah, Keith, that's an interesting anomaly that Nate just brought up. You've got these guys hit for average. They get on base a lot. They've got good slugging. But when you look at something like RBIs, where are they? Churchill is the only one on there, right? It's like they can get on base, but they don't know how to bring them home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's kind of been their issue the whole season, is that they definitely can hit for power. They hit a lot of home runs. Of course, a lot of those are solo shots. So you're not going to get many RBI. You're not going to rack up a lot of runs when you're hitting a lot of solo homers. But yeah, especially recently, them leaving a lot of guys stranded on the bases has been an issue for them. They can definitely get hits.
Yeah.
I believe they're leading the league in batting average as a whole, but
it doesn't surprise me.
Just for whatever reason, it's not showing up on the scoreboard.
Well, here's another thing that I just happened to see, Dave, is we were talking about how little they get runs across, and the only one on the RBI list is Mike Churchill. We've got a lot of solo shots apparently because like Keith brought up, because you got Delaney up there at 8, you got Bullitt up there at 6, and then you got Churchill up there even at 4. So a lot of solo shots being hit by the Yankees and just not being hit with any runners on base.
Doug and Annie, whose sound is it? Because I'm not dropping any frames, so it could possibly just be a Twitch thing. Or it could be, Discord waiting to fucking get started. It's buffering. Well, shit. Maybe I can. Yeah, I don't know.
Are you dropping frames?
No. No, I'm not. I'm not dropping any frames, actually. All right, let's kind of wrap this up. Let me ask you a couple of things, Keith, real quick, and then we'll wrap this up. You probably don't have it in front of you, and you don't need to. Bullitt, what's up, buddy? You don't need to spend time researching right now. Just off the top of your head, would you argue, based on what we just got to talking about, is Lisa the pitcher with the least run support, do you think? Because there's a difference between a team having the most or least runs throughout a game, but that also includes middle relievers and closers, etc. If you're just talking about those first 6 innings or so of every game, would you argue that maybe the Yankees are scoring most of their runs late, and that's part of the problem too? They're just not giving Lisa run support, or what do you think is the core issue, I guess?
Well, I can tell you right now that the two teams that are tied for the fewest runs scored on the season is the Cubs and the Yankees. So based on that, I would say it's been a problem for both Soto and Lisa.
Yeah.
Which just inherently from watching the games, that's kind of what it feels like. So
When you got your third, those are the third and fourth place teams too.
Right. Yeah. I mean, granted, Soto has proven to be thus far a better pitcher than Lisa. But
he's definitely done more with less, I would say, especially the first half of the season.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think everyone would agree that the Yankees offense has a higher ceiling than the Cubs offense, just based on how they've been performing this season. But yeah, run support's been an issue for both of them.
That's a good point by Doug Day in the chat too. Delaney with 8 home runs, but not on the RBI list. Like Nate said, a lot of solo shots coming from certain people on the Yankees. It's already past 7:15. Soto, that's not how this rolls, bro. We go to like 7:30, 7:40, man. Slow your roll, baby. Slow your roll. Nate, any last thoughts on this before we move on? This is actually going to be wrapped up probably by 7:30 because after this, all we really have to do is awards, and then we're done anyway. So, Nate, I'll give you the word on this, and then we'll wrap up with Keith.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say you brought up about how the Cubs and the Yankees both don't have any run support. That's been a Cubs problem the entire season, and Pink Lisa has been an inconsistent pitcher, though, for the entire season for the Yankees. I mean, as far as her ERA goes.
Yeah, she's either the best pitcher or the worst pitcher each week, right?
Right. Yeah. Like, I think she's in the 4s in ERA and somewhere in the bottom half of the league in ERA. She's pitched the least amount of innings, as far as I saw at the end of last week, or as of the end of last week. So, It's a mixture of both as far as not having enough runs and just inconsistent pitching. Whereas I think the Cubs, on the other hand, is, Soto's been lights out, consistently, at least on a consistent basis. And the Cubs just can't figure things out on offense.
Yeah, I think you could argue, Keith, that Soto, number one, definitely has done more with less, especially the first half of the season. Lisa being inconsistent up and down. She's been pitcher of the week, I think, twice or something like that, right? But then on the other one, she's had like a 9 ERA or something. It's like she can't find that consistent thing. And, she'll probably get there with more progression or what have you. But we don't really talk about the pitchers a lot on this show. We usually talk just about the position players and the offenses. But let's flip that. Let's flip the script just for a second and give us your input on the pitchers like what Nate was saying.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that Lisa, over the course as the season has gone on, I think she's kind of reined in. I guess you could say she's reined in her wild side a little bit, because it seemed like right off the bat she did not have a good start to the season, and I think her floor has raised, you could say.
Right.
To some extent. And I mean, a lot of that is helped by the fact that the offense has been good the whole season. I think with Soto, something that's helped him is their power hitters have been a lot better as of late, specifically Corn King and Blitzkrieg. I know Blitzkrieg especially had a really tough start to the year, but he's come on pretty strong and has helped him out there. I mean, Chris Lee, I think, has kind of a similar situation to Lisa in the fact that the offense is good enough to where he can have some bad nights and get away with it occasionally.
Right.
Seems like one game every week he has a stinker, and he still is the only pitcher on the season with a winning record.
Oh, is that right? I did not realize that.
Yeah, he is last in ERA with a 4.54 ERA, but it has a 6-5 record. He's the only one with a winning record.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
But only by a half a game, because the other two are 5-5.
Yes, that is right. Yeah.
So,
and then with Gunny, I mean, Gunny's just started surrendering more contact, which of course is the whole point of his pitching style. And I think some players, as they progress, are starting to get more hits on him as a result. It just comes down to if someone hits it the wrong way into a double play ball or something like that.
Yeah, Rob's saying that Soto's really only had one rough game in the chat, and that's probably, I would say maybe two, but yeah, I don't know what's going on with the feed, you guys. I'm not dropping any frames, so from the delivery point, I think we're okay. So it must be something with either Twitch or something else. I'm watching it also on my phone simultaneously, and my phone hasn't had any issues either. All right, well, here's what I know as we wrap up this segment, and before we move on to the week 6 awards. Stats really don't mean shit for the win-loss column. It literally doesn't even matter. You could have the highest averages and home runs, whatever, and not have RBIs, and vice versa, or have good pitching and no offense, or have great offense. Bro, at the end of the day, I think really the only team that's been consistent with mostly decent pitching, getting men on, hitting home runs when there's runners on position, and etc., is Baltimore. I think is what it comes down to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and which is why they are
over the course of the whole season. Yes.
Yeah, of course. Last week was weird. By the way, I went through when I was inputting all the progressions today, and usually if I see something wrong on somebody's earnings, and I was like, okay, wait a minute, did we mess that up last week or whatever? Dude, the whole week, everything went smooth. Every single player this week, it went totally smooth. Like, so all the earnings are perfect. Everything is caught up. There's no issues, nothing. It's been the perfect week. Then I get to my own player, and I put the stuff in last week for the stat sheet, but I forgot to put it in the game. So my player, so now we know why Baltimore lost last week to the Yankees, because my player didn't have his progression in. So there you go. How's that for an excuse?
But going back to what you said last about how consistent Baltimore has been as far as scoring runs and getting wins, it number 1 and number 2 in both RBIs and home runs. Who are they from?
Yeah.
There you go.
Exactly. All right, folks. Keith, thank you for all that, bro, as usual. You guys don't go anywhere. I'm going to ask you some questions still on the next one, but I appreciate Keith putting all this together every single week for us to not only talk about on the show, but have at our fingertips for broadcast and in the server for anybody who needs to check it out. Week 6 awards. I'm going to ask each of you as we go around. Your week 6, teams. I think I only put 2 this week. I've been doing that lately. Like, if there's people or teams that have had crappy weeks, I'm just not putting them on there anymore. So I think I only had the 2 winning teams, right? I think I just had did I just have the Yankees and the Cubs on there? Anybody remember?
Yeah, you had the Yankees and Cubs on there. You didn't have the other 2 teams.
Nate, I'm assuming you pulled for the Cubbies.
Yes, I did.
Keith, where'd you go with that?
I want to say I went Yankees just because beat the Orioles, which doesn't happen very often.
That's true. And you hate the Cubs, and they beat you.
Yes, that too.
There's always that, right? There's always that. All right, let's find out who is your Week 6 team of the week. By the way, I know that we've mostly got all the progression down, but once in a while, some people think still when you look at that spreadsheet that I make, on the gray part where it says at owner's discretion, if you win a series, you get 1 point that the owners can decide what to do with. Not everybody on your team gets a point. I've had to deal with that the last couple of weeks for some reason, which I get because it's mostly for the Cubs and the Yankees because they haven't won any series at the beginning of the season. So I understand that. But with no further ado, let's find out who your team of the week is here for Week 6. It is overwhelmingly the Cubs. With a 3-0 record, they swept the Cards. They outscored them 14-3. The Yankees only beat the O's 2-1, but they did win the first 2 games, handing Baltimore their first series loss of the season. Keith, let me go to you first. What's more impressive, handing the O's the first loss of the season, like you mentioned a moment ago, or the Cubs sweeping the Cards after being swept by them in Week 1?
Jesus, I had already forgotten we had only scored 3 runs on the week last week. Okay, well, in that case, run differential on the week is just what immediately pops out, so I'm going to go with that.
Okay. Nate, which one's more impressive?
I would say the Cubs outscoring the Cards 14-3. But not only that, um, yes, the O's losing for the series for the first time all season is impressive. But you know, you you think about the Cubs' dominance last week, and that's immediately what comes to mind when I see that graphic.
I just realized. I hope I put Pick'ems in this week, right? Anybody know? I think I did.
Yes,
Okay.
maybe I don't
I
know.
hope so.
Uh,
If not, then nobody's getting points for the offseason, I guess. I don't know if anybody know if I did or not. I can't check because I've only got
serious,
2 monitors now.
serious. Yeah, you did.
Oh, okay.
You did.
I'll just have to remember to close that as we wrap up this show. Player of the week. I don't remember all the nominees, so I'm just going to show it and then we'll talk about it afterwards. So your week 6 player, which is a non-pitcher, a position player of the week is Blitzkrieg. Oh, I meant to mention. Sorry, I wrote these down because I knew I wouldn't have the extra monitor, and I wouldn't have the voting thing up. On the team of the week, Chicago 26 votes. New York had 9. On this one, Blitzkrieg wins with 45.7% of the vote. That's 16 votes. Yogi finished second with 10. Churchill with 4. Bullet with 3, and then Cornman and who's the last one on there? I can't read my own writing. The Man Butcher, I think. Finished with 1 vote each. Nate, I'll go to you first. Blitzkrieg, stats-wise, I think probably the most impressive. He didn't hit a grand slam or a walk-off this week, I don't believe, like others did, but still impressive stats. Did the mob community get this one right?
I believe so because that's who I voted for. So I'm glad to see Blitz get the dub on this week's player of the week. But the what I criteria this off of is he got player of the game once this week,
Mm-hmm.
and not only that, he didn't have an error all week when he played defense. So when I'm going through the list of names, if anybody has an error along their score sheet, I immediately
Take some
strike
away.
them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, take them away, and then next I look at average because if you don't hit very well, your home runs and RBIs don't really matter that much to me. So if you're like under 500 or right around, well below 500, you're not, in my eyes, you're not deserving of that honor either. So, you know, with Blitzkrieg, you're hitting 500. He had 5 RBIs, which was the most for the week, and he had the home run and a double, plus the player of the game. I think just all those things combined is what did it for me.
Keith, everybody's got their criteria. What was yours for this? And did you vote for Blitz, or do you remember?
I did vote for Blitzkrieg, yeah, because I mean, anytime you go 500 on the week, that's a good week. I don't think that has happened very often in the league this year, and we had 2 of them do it this week because it was
Yeah.
Blitzkrieg and Clams, of course.
Yep.
But yeah, player of the game going to a position player has not happened that often this season. Most of the time, it seems like it's going to a pitcher. So yeah, he definitely gets some credit from me there. And then also just Krieg doing his thing. He's been having a good last couple weeks of the season. All came together for 1 week, of course. So yeah,
Right.
I think he gets his credit there.
I'm actually
more thing.
surprised Clams
Sorry.
didn't get a vote. 3 walks in a week. That might be the most we've had in a week. Would you say?
Yeah,
Keith, real quick.
I don't know offhand, that might be the most or like tied for the most. I don't
Right.
know. But yeah, if she would have hit a homer as one of those 6
Yeah.
hits in addition to the double, I might have picked her.
Or even a triple for that matter. Nate, were you trying to sneak something in real quick?
I was gonna say, for me, it came down to between Blitz and Clamsy because they're averages for the week.
Yeah.
But with Clams not hitting a home run or having more than 1 RBI for the week, it was pretty easy to vote for
Yeah.
Blitz over Clams because of that.
All right. Next award is for pitcher of the week. Your week 6 pitcher of the week. I'm pretty sure we all know it was a 2-horse race.
Yeah,
So let's see which horse finished first.
This should be unanimous.
Oh, it's not. It is 80-20 though. That's
Oh,
pretty
come
close.
on. How is this not unanimous? Come on.
28 votes for Soto, 7 votes for Lisa. I mean, she went at 1-0, right? She had the second. I mean, look at the K's. The K's this week, you and I talked about this in DMs. 21, 22, 23 is pretty crazy that they were all that close this week, right?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it wasn't going to be Gunny or Chris Lee, going 0-1 and, both their teams losing the series. But you think this should have been a unanimous, really?
I do. For Soto. Yeah,
Yeah,
three earned runs in 3 games is insane.
I don't disagree with that.
That I believe is the best pitching week of anyone this season that Soto had this week. I don't know exact stats from previous weeks offhand, but I would bet a lot of money that a lot of people would say that was the best week of any pitcher so far.
Soto, I hope not. Here's the issue. I have a loaner PC, and I can tell this PC is not as good as mine because even on my end, when I go to do something, when I pull something up, it's taking longer. It's just not a very good PC compared to what I normally have. So hopefully it won't be like that with the game, but we'll see if we can adjust something when the game starts for that. Let's go to WebGem. There were a lot of nominees, so I'm not going to go through them. Let's just find out who the WebGem winner for Week 6 is. Okay, this is a little tighter one. Anastasia Beaverhausen climbing the wall in right field to snag that home run. Or not, it would have been a double, sorry. She got 11 votes. Joe Delaney finished second with 8. Korn was 7. Nate with 5. And then Ray and Art tied with 2. Much closer. I don't think you could have gone wrong with any of these. Joe Delaney, especially having 2 plays. I think it was last week or the week before Nate that Corn King had 2 plays, and I think he won. So that's always, if you have more than one, probably a slight advantage. But do you remember who you voted for? And how do you feel about Anastasia squeaking out over Joe Delaney and Corn King?
You're going to ask me who I voted for when I'm on the list? Like, what do I have to do to win Web Gem of the Week? I had a diving catch in right field from my center field position, and I still can't win a Web Gem of the Week. Come on, people. Like, what the heck?
I mean, you see Anastasia climb the wall, bro. Come on.
It's climbing the wall, big
Here's
deal.
I think we've seen diving catches before. That was the first time we saw climbing the wall.
Oh, yeah, climbing the wall, big deal, huh?
I dove like 10 feet just so I could save a double from happening.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry, bro. Keith, what do you think about this one?
I don't 100% remember who I voted for, but I would bet a lot of money that I probably read Anastasia Beaverhausen climbs the wall and just said, all right, that's it.
That's the winning. Well, hopefully you guys read through these because they're all, I try to make them all sound as cool as possible. But even Danny Morgan catching a hot shot. You know what I'm saying? All right. Congrats to Anastasia. Very well deserved as far as I'm concerned. I did vote for you as well. And then lastly is our play of the week. And let's see who won that. Ooh, there are a lot of these. This one was close too. Gosh, who won? Bullet wins for the walk-off, but right behind him. So listen to this, you guys. Bullet with 11 votes. David Leathers with 10. 1 vote behind. Leathers misses out on his walk-off. So Bullet's walk-off, they say, was better than Leathers' walkout. I mean, it's semantics at that point. And then, let me see. Churchill had 5, Korn, Dougie, and Yogi all with 3. So Bullet barely beats out David Leathers. Keith, your thoughts?
Yeah, those were the 2 that were really the main front runners in my mind. I don't remember which one I voted for, but either one of those is deserving, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel bad for Korn because, man, that was a great home run, Nate, but it was an inning too early.
Thanks, Toto. I appreciate that. But anyways, yeah, Korn. I voted for Korn. I mean, his 2-run home run in the bottom of the 8th, maybe that was the difference. That wasn't in the 9th inning. But I think any of these, walk-offs definitely deserve to win play of the week. So, congrats to Bullet, and looking forward to seeing what happens on playoffs this week.
Yep, awesome. Just remember, you guys, Some of you have forgotten this season, and it's too late now. But going into next season, if you win an award, that's a point for the following week. Your following week, what do you call it? Earnings. From now on, though, for now and next week, that's all stuff you're gonna have to bank in the off season for your preseason points for season 2. So, just want to throw that out there. Final thoughts before we wrap up and go off to game 1 here of the playoffs. Nate, I'll start with you.
No, just congrats to all the winners this week. Looking forward to calling this Yanks at O's matchup at Camden Yards, and let's get this playoff started.
Agreed. Keith, you got the last word on tonight's show.
Yeah, again, just congrats to all the award winners. If I were to give a key to the 2 matchups tonight, I would say the Cards would be getting some run support for Gunny to keep the Cubs from stacking up a bunch of hits, which is very possible, as we saw last week. For the Yankees and O's, I think it's just a matter of which pitcher has the hot hand tonight, in my opinion.
I don't disagree with that, yeah.
Yeah, I think both these are going to be good matchups. Hopefully it's going to be something to watch, and we're just pray for no blowouts, because no one likes blowouts in the playoffs.
Correct. That is correct. We don't want to pull a Super Bowl here for sure. All right, Nate. Yeah, go ahead, Nate.
Will the real Lisa Pinky please stand up?
I hope so. I hope so, bro. I mean, here's the thing. She doesn't care that much because she's busy. She's traveling. She's working. She's doing her thing. But
Sure.
I'm like, damn, woman, get your shit together. All right, folks. That's it. That's a wrap. Nate and Keith, thanks for joining me tonight on a playoff edition, or a post-Week 6 edition, technically, of Mondays in the Mob here on a Tuesday. As we go into the schedule you see here on your screen, first game will be Yankees at Orioles, followed by Cubs at Cardinals. And as you see, it's already set up. I've been having to play with buttons, make sure it doesn't go to sleep on me. And then Soto and everybody else that's in the chat, as soon as the game starts, you start seeing the game flow and stuff. Let me know if it's bad. I'll pause it and see if we can fix something there. I gotta run downstairs in a minute. Nate, I'm gonna let you start. I know you don't have an analyst tonight, do you?
I do not. I'm going solo, bro.
All right, I will probably pop in and out when possible, as long as we're not having.
Oh, don't go in and out. That's
There you go.
something dope.
As long as we're not having technical issues. I need to make sure this is
All
all
right.
right. Modern Alex off, 9 September, 7 p.m. off. I think we're good. So, game 1 of what is considered the semifinals. Hey, congrats to all the teams who made the Final Four. Hey-o. We've got the Orioles, the number 1 seed, hosting the Yankees. Nate Hall, you got the floor, buddy.
But here's the thing: you can't pull for Lisa Pinky too much tonight, because you're going up against her.
Well, I didn't say
So,
tonight.
yeah.
I didn't say tonight.
Camden Yards. Let's get this one going. Yankees at the Orioles for the first game of the 3-game set of season 1 playoffs in the MOB. Let's get it going. You got the, as you see, beautiful Camden Yards. Fans going crazy. We love to see it. Thanks for joining me, everybody here in the chat tonight. I see Soto, I see Bullet, I see Doug Day. Dougie, how many hits you're gonna get tonight? You see Chris Lee taking the mound. Yeah, Canuck. Day's gonna go downstairs. Probably to get some water, who knows. But yeah, looks good. Looks good, Dave. Screen looks good. Doug Day coming up to the plate, starting things off for the Yankees in the leadoff spot. Chris Lee with the first pitch outside with the slider for ball 1, and we get things underway here in Camden Yards. Uh-oh. Please hold. Yep. All right, yeah, Dave, just for a moment, Dave's got to put things on pause, make sure he's got the lineups correct for both teams. So, yeah, just a moment here. We'll see if things are lined up correctly. But yeah. So, who wants to talk about something until we figure? Okay. Well, let's we got a 1-1 count for Doug Day after that second pitch gets fouled out to the left. And the third pitch up and in, but gets called a ball. That's a questionable call by the umpire, but ball 2. And that one gets drove up the middle for a base hit. Nice hit by Doug Day. He's going to get on first with nobody out to get things started here for the Yankees. Nice job to get on first with that screamer right back up the middle. Yeah, Soto, it's glitching, huh? Not
Yeah,
smooth.
where's Ray? Where's Ray when I need him? So I'm not dropping any frames, and it is not glitching on my phone. So let me check something real quick here. Let me look at Let me look at these settings real quick. Oh yeah, that's taking forever. Holy fuck. Dude, this whole computer's moving slow.
Yikes.
This sucks.
Yikes.
Let me see here. Output real quick.
Well, just to let everybody know, Dave's on a loaner computer because he doesn't have his own from the store. And we're doing our best here tonight with what we've got to work with. So making sure the settings are all correct on this loaner that he got from the store.
It won't
And
let me, why won't it let me change that? What the fuck?
see every 10th frame, says Doug Britton.
Yeah, give me a second. Hold on.
Craig said maybe see if you can change some settings in OBS.
Yeah, that's what I'm working on, but it's not letting me change it for some reason. I don't know if am I still muted? I don't even know if I'm muted. Am I muted, bro?
No, you're not muted.
So it's not letting me. Why is it not fucking letting me? I wonder if I might have to disconnect. Hold on a second.
Oh wait, you are muted in Discord. Never mind. You're just going. You're just talking in the chat right now, or like with me.
Can you fuckers not hear me over there? Hold on. Oh, I'm not muted. I don't think I'm muted. I don't know why this is not letting me change this. I might have to, maybe because I'm in the middle of the stream.
Can you guys? Okay, quick question. Can you guys hear Dave when he's talking right now?
Please turn off any outputs. Output.
No. Okay, Ray says they can't hear you when you're talking right now.
Hold on a second. My mic is literally unmuted. It's right there. Blah, 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 blah. How can they not hear me now when they could hear me on the show?
But Discord though, is that muted?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Churchill says they can't hear me. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Rob, that's what I'm saying, bro. I don't know. Hold on a second. I cannot.
That stacker from the shop needs to be rehired.
The slacker. Yeah.
Oh, slacker. Ha, I got you.
Well.
Because I can read.
Well, of course, when I need Ray, he's not around. He's all because somebody wanted to flood his fucking living room with water.
What?
I'm looking. Yeah, the thing that I know that I need to change, it's not allowing me to change it for some reason. This doesn't make any fucking sense.
I can hear you in the damn game.
What are you saying, and why are you here? Who are you?
It's Ray, and I can hear you on the broadcast.
You said you couldn't. You said you couldn't.
I said I can't 5 times. I can't read.
No, I'm not. I'm not looking at the chat. I'm trying to get this shit fixed.
That's why I'm here. Sorry, I'll leave, but I can hear you in the game.
I'm just fucking with you. Okay, that's good. All right, here's what I'm gonna do, folks. I'm going to disconnect for a minute. I'm gonna stop the stream. I'm gonna see if that'll allow me to change the settings. If not, then we may have to postpone tonight. If the feed's that bad, I don't want you guys to have to watch it like that. I think if Ray was here, he could probably fix it for me, but he's got his own issues he's working with right now. So that's what I was trying to do, Soto. It won't let me do it. I was trying to go from 60 to 30. It wouldn't let me do that either. I don't know why. So maybe it's because I'm in a stream. So I'm gonna stop.